Hey everybody, it's Rachel with the Charlotte Mason Plenary, and we are here with the founders of My Tek Lab. They are offering computer coding classes at the Charlotte Mason Co-op this year, and we're super excited to have you guys with us. Y'all want to say hi and kind of introduce yourselves?
Sure. Hi, everybody. It's nice to see Rachel, I guess, because that's all we can see right now. But it's nice to be here. We're super excited. My name is Jacky Souders. I am one of the co-owners, like she said, of My Tek Lab. Hello, Meredith. Nice to have you with us.
Yes, my name is Souders. I'm the lead instructor and obviously co-founder as well. And I really love technology. I love working with technology. I've always worked with technology. I love teaching. I like taking complex topics and making them simpler so that students can understand them. And I really enjoy what we do. So hopefully we can answer some of these questions that you have. But I'm just super excited to be here.
Yeah, so it's interesting because now you guys are homeschoolers too, and you're a little bit familiar with like the Charlotte Mason philosophy and stuff. But it's interesting because a lot of people will say that Charlotte Mason and computers, oh my goodness. And we over here at the plenary say, oh no, she'd be all over this kind of technology. And she was very progressive and I know that she would just be embracing all sorts of technology and all the cool things that we have to offer for our students these days. But so my daughter's always been interested in coding, and I've been looking and looking and looking for something for her, and then I found you guys and I was just so excited. So I'm super excited that that y'all are on board, and you're offering 3 classes with us for this year, and it's the whole year, right? It's not just the fall semester, it's a whole year long class. So can you tell us just a little bit about the 3 classes that you're offering through the co-op, and then we'll take some questions.
Absolutely. Yes, we this year, since we're starting out with you all, we're going to be offering 3 of our classes. Now, we do offer more. We do offer many different levels. But to get started with us and just to kind of get familiar with who we are and how we instruct our classes as well, we're going to be offering an elementary level for elementary school students, and then a level 1 and a level 2 for middle and high school students. That way,
right.
We can get them interested. We do our elementary classes a little bit different than the middle and high schoolers. Everything is project-based, but we take the projects in a different way depending on the age or the group of the class.
Okay, so yeah, that kind of brings me to the very first question. Well, let me see. Maybe we should start with, I had another question. Oh yeah, here it is. What's the difference? There it is. Let's put that one up. I think that was Meredith's question. No, somebody else's question. Okay, what's the difference between the information taught in the elementary and the teen level 1 classes? Is the age division firm? Yeah, she says her son, 12, has some coding experience with Minecraft.
That's a really great question. I think to better answer that question, I think we're going to tag team on this one.
Okay.
I'll take the last part of the question. Is the age division firm? For our younger students, for that class, we do suggest an age range of 8 years old to 12 years old. However, if we have a 12-year-old student who's brand new to us but does have some background in any kind of technology, we like to leave it up to the parent to choose which level is best appropriate for that learner. We don't know new learners. If it's different if we have had a student for a while, then we can better place them into the appropriate class. But if they're 12, then we like to just say, if you feel that your learner has enough basic experience, then you can definitely put them into the upper level 1, which would be for our middle schoolers and high schoolers. And I do say middle schoolers and high schoolers because it is a mix in our upper level 1s of middle schoolers and high schoolers. But we do have some 12-year-olds who start fresh with us in that upper level 1 as well. So it's more of a suggestion. Now, if you register for one of them and then you realize, whoa, this is not the right group
Okay.
for them, we will definitely then reevaluate it and then place them in the appropriate level, whether it's a little step below or a little step above. We want them to be in the right class so that they can get
Okay.
the best out of the class.
That's good to know. Okay.
And
All right. And
students,
so the difference between the information.
Yes, I would love to. So actually, they're very similar in content. However, in the upper level one, we go into more detail, and we have assignments and potentially quizzes every week. Where with the elementary we don't. So we might incorporate an assignment here or there, just so they get used to submitting them and getting feedback on those. But they're both project-based, but we just go into more depth, especially related to theory in the upper level one.
Okay. Okay. So then my next question then that we had was, is there really no experience needed?
I laugh because I laugh. We get that question a lot. And I feel like people don't really believe us when we say there's no experience needed. Obviously, if you know how to type, whether you are really good at typing or you're not so good at typing, that's going to definitely help you. But for any one of our level 1 classes, whether it's the elementary level 1 or the upper level 1, you really do not need any kind of experience from the past. It doesn't matter if you're just like, I know how to turn a computer on. Like, well, then that's your experience. That's fine. Because everything that we do and all of the lessons that we teach from a more beginner fundamental base. So we'll start them from the very, very beginning. And some students, they've already done it, or they've already seen it kind of before, maybe somewhere else. But the way we teach it, a lot of our concepts is a lot different from what other students have seen in other places. So we take it from a very beginner approach. Now, once you get in the higher levels, like levels 3 and 4, we do have prerequisites for those. So you have to have background experience to get into those classes. Specifically with us, we would prefer that just because of our teaching style is a little bit different. But no, I promise, for level 1, you do not need to have any experience in the past.
And I promise. Okay, and I guess to follow this up real quick, we're always here to help. So if a student or a learner is struggling with anything, the website, accessing something, submitting a project, doing anything, we are always available to help out.
That's right. I think y'all have like office hours as well, right? That students can log into.
Our office hours are 24 hours a day.
Generally, when we're not teaching, when we have other labs we're teaching, obviously we can't support them. But outside of that, I mean, yeah, we're pretty accessible.
We have students from around the world. So we're in
different time zones. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have some students who are 12 hours ahead of what we're in. So we'll have students reach out kind of really in the middle of the night for us in the Eastern time zone. We are based in Florida, and it's really hot here today. So I just really want
it's hot in Texas.
So we do also offer a live help class once a week. And that is a specific day and time.
That's what I was thinking about.
Yes, we do have students who join in every single week for that, whether they have a question or not. A lot of times they like to come in and just kind of hang out and see what other students' questions and kind of see what other students are working on as well. You're definitely more than welcome to do that. But if you're not able to make it in that help session, or you have a question after the help session, we are 100% available 7 days a week. You have a question, even the parents, if you have a question, we're going to make sure that you get that answer.
Okay. And so besides a laptop and maybe some typing ability, any other tech or anything else needed?
There's really not, other than we do use Zoom. So you need to have Zoom downloaded onto your device. We do also, our website does work best on Google Chrome as well. So we do recommend that you have that one installed. That's really it. Obviously internet. We do find that a lot of students find it a lot easier to follow along with the live classes if they have two devices. So you have one device, excuse me, you'll have one device to watch the class in Zoom, and then you'll have another device like a laptop or a computer to actually follow along with. So, because if not, then you're having to kind of go through two different like split screens to kind of follow along. So it's not required by any means. But it is kind of recommended because a lot of our students find that option a lot easier.
And some students use a phone or a tablet as a second device. Or if they have a really large monitor, then you can kind of split, have, the live lesson on one side and then, your browser on the other side. And then, but it does help a lot, especially when you're first starting out, to just have that separation of live class versus, where they're, conducting their work.
Okay, so interesting. So like they'd have the Zoom going on the tablet or whatever, and then then they'd be working on their computer doing the lesson. So interesting.
Yes, with the way that we do our lessons, Stephen is actively doing the lesson with the students, so he's doing it right alongside them. So they would just follow along and make any changes. But we also have the option that some students just don't tune in live. So they will do the recordings because all of our courses are recorded as well.
Yeah.
So a lot of the students, scheduling reasons, doctor's appointments, they don't want to do live. It totally varies between students and families depending on their situation. Some students will only watch the recordings. Now, if you're only watching the recordings, then you don't need to have two devices because you can pause the recording. It's very hard to pause him. Pause him. It's not possible, but when he's recorded,
yeah. Yeah, and that's the way we do classes here too. Everything's recorded, so if you miss a class or if you just want to go at your own pace, you can watch the recording and do it that way too. Yeah, so it's all about doing things your way here at the plenary. So I love that. All right, let's see. I'm going to pop up some questions here. Okay, so Meredith said she wanted to add another question. Okay. Question is, she wants to know if you work on one project at a time until it's completed and then move on to the next project.
That's a great question. I've never actually received that question, so I love that question. Yeah, generally we work on one project until it's completed and then we work on another project. However, if students get a little bit behind or they needed help and they couldn't quite sync up with our schedule at the moment to get that help, sometimes you might have two projects running at the same time, meaning you're trying to get the last, maybe week finished up and then we're starting something new. That could happen, but generally we only have one project at a time because I prefer that. I mean, we all have to multitask, but when it comes down to just, juggling all these things mentally, it can be challenging. So I think it's best to focus as much as you can in one area and then move on to another and then so on.
All right, so let me see. One more question. Where did it go? Oh, okay, here we go. How much work outside of the class meeting time will be necessary?
This is a very popular question. And people, when I answer this question, they kind of look at me with like a big old like question mark. Well, sometimes it's only through computer, so that's kind of what I envision. They're just like, what, really? We say between 3 to 4 hours per week outside of the class. And it could be more if the learner wants it to be more. Everything that we do, all of the projects, well, most of the projects is kind of creative driven. So if you have a really, really creative mind as a learner and the lesson is building a website and you just really want to take it so much further because you have this vision of something in your head and you want to make it, well, you may spend 10 hours on that website. You may go above and beyond. We try to keep the requirements for the projects about 3 to 4 hours per week. Some students will spend less time if they're just faster. Some students do spend more time, but it's not mandatory. A lot of them, when they spend more time on it, they're going above and beyond and adding things that aren't even required. But that's really great for us because that means they're understanding it and they're really, really into it and they just want to create something that they're having an amazing time with. So typically we say 3 to 4 hours per week, but the class is really what they make of it. So it may be more, it may be less, and it may vary week to week. So it's kind of a tough question for us to answer. And I don't want like question marks over people's heads, like, but really, no, I'm serious. 3 to 4 hours, sometimes more, sometimes less.
Yeah, so it's really individual based on the student and how much they want to put into it then.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. All right, let me see if we have any other questions. So when someone signs up for your classes through the plenary, like what's the what should they expect? Like they'll get an email from you guys, they'll need to create an account over at the My Tek Lab website, that sort of stuff. Kind of walk us through.
Perfect. So once you've decided that you want to join us, or your learner wants to join us, the first step is to let the plenary know. I think that's kind of important. And then the next step would be to absolutely create your parent account on myteklab.com, and then create the student account. All of our parent and student accounts are free. We never charge for those. It doesn't matter how you sign up. If you're with one of our educational partners like the plenary, or with some other partners that we have, or you saw somewhere and you're like, this place is really cool. We don't charge for those accounts. And with those accounts, the student has access to all of our student applications. And we're constantly adding applications. I don't even know, are we in the 40s?
27.
I'm sorry.
27.
I think it's 27, but we're constantly adding, and we have a lot that we're working on that we haven't added to it yet as well. So the step would be to create those accounts, and then I'll be the one who adds them into the class manually. So, and then once I do that, I will send an email out welcoming you to the class, giving you some information about what to expect. And then you will again hear from us pretty much the week that the classes start. Our classes do start the week of August 22nd. Every week you will probably get about 4 emails from me. I promise you they're not long. And a lot of parents say that they're pretty helpful. So that's pretty special. You'll get an email from me reminding you 15 minutes before that your class is going to start. And then you'll get an email from me later in that day letting you know that the recording has been posted. And then you'll get an email on Fridays that I like to send out. I call it a Chime In Friday, just letting you know we wrapped up another week. And if you have any questions, to please let me know. So I know I said 4, that was 3, so I misspoke. Sorry. So yeah, so you'll get 3 emails from me, just so that it's helpful to know. As a homeschooling family, we understand that schedules can be crazy. I have forgotten appointments in the past. Felt terrible. So I like sending out reminders because I am a big believer in reminders for myself. So I send out those reminders just to let them know, like, we are definitely here for you. Here's a reminder, class is going to start here soon. And then here's your reminder for your recording is posted. So I'm very much big on communication. So you will be hearing from me a lot, and they're not automated emails. I do send them out manually.
We do that. We do that too. We send the reminder email like 30 minutes before the class starts, and then we also send, if they sign up for our text messaging, we also send a text message, to let them know, hey, don't forget, because I've done that before too. Like I send text messages to myself for the classes that I teach, and sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to go teach a class. I just got the text.
Yes.
We know how it is.
All the time. I totally understand.
All right. Is there anything else that we haven't covered that you think parents might need to know, or some important information? I feel like your classes are going to be super fun and super cool.
We think they are.
Yeah. And we're excited. Yeah, my daughter will be taking the teens level 1, so that'll be fun.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah. So anything else you think people should know or need to know?
We did actually just release a new updated website. So if you're kind of curious to know what we do and just see kind of what the classes kind of look like a little bit, I definitely recommend going to our website. We do have videos out there now to kind of give you a parent perspective, because a lot of parents have created videos for us, which we greatly appreciate. It really gives a totally different perspective, because we could tell you all day long how our classes are and how we are as people, but from a parent perspective, it's vastly different. So if you're curious kind of to know how our classes work, what they kind of look like, definitely go to our website. There's a lot of information on there as well. You'll get to watch some videos. You get to see our backgrounds as well in the fields that we specialize in.
And there's student reviews as well. So at the end of every academic year, I ask for feedback, because that's how we improve, obviously. And I put as many of the reviews out there as I can, and they're honest. I obviously change nothing about them, because I want students to see, other students or other learners to see, how did this person feel about the class? And all of those are just genuine learner, testimonials, or that feedback that we get, and it's so valuable for us.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah, and so if people want to head over to your website, it's myteklab.com, right?
Yes.
I got that right. Yeah. And of course we have on the computer coding product pages at the plenary, we have links to your website, and then we also have a whole like about page about you guys and your backgrounds, so people can find you that way too, and then link over to your website to go take a look at everything that you have over there, and get their accounts set up and all that sort of good stuff. So let's see, I thought of another question and now it's gone. So let's see if I can.
You forgot to text it.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to mention one more thing, if that'll maybe give you another minute to maybe remember that. But the last question, we were talking about the classes a little bit. Something that I want to mention is the first day we cover how to access the recordings, how to look at the lesson notes to get more information, how to contact me, or Jacky or anybody else, and really just kind of how to get up and running, because sometimes it can be confusing learning a new system. We try to make it as simple as we can, but that's something that we cover all of those details. So if anyone is feeling hesitant about anything, don't worry. We will. This is what we do. Literally, this is what we do. We enjoy it. I have such a passion for this, creating tools and applications and taking concepts and making them easier to understand. And I've always worked with technology. I've worked with thousands of students, and we will do whatever it takes, to help your learner best understand these concepts. And I think a lot of students are really blown away in the course of a year what they have been exposed to and what they learned in the course of a year. And I think we get that feedback. I never thought I would be able to program a simulated robot to solve a maze, or I never thought I could actually create an entire pixel art tile set on my own that actually looks pretty decent. There's just so many of those things where it's about that empowerment too. It's about, I'm comfortable with technology now. I don't feel like, well, I use a computer, I use a device, but I don't really feel like I can create with those devices. And that's something that we really focus on is that empowerment. It's like, yes, you can do it. And we're here to.
And it's such a huge career opportunity, not to mention, you could also say it's a life skill these days. But the career path is huge. There's so many different avenues that one could take in this field. So I think that's important. And that's another reason we wanted to have these types of classes offered at the plenary. And so I did remember what I was going to say, and that was that y'all have been gracious enough to offer our co-op members a discount in the prices. So when they sign up through the plenary, they get, I think, I think it was like it was more than $100 off the class. So it was like 115 or something like that. I did the math and now I can't remember, but but yeah, I wanted to mention that. I wanted to mention that and say thank you guys for that. So that it makes it a little bit more affordable for families. So
Absolutely. Yeah, we're definitely more than happy to do it. I'm glad you mentioned that also, because when you go to, as a parent, when you go and create your parent account and the student account, you're going to see a slightly different price difference. Right. It's right. Okay. You don't need to re-enroll or enroll again. Just let us handle the rest of it once you create those parent accounts. Yeah. Oh, so you're very welcome. We're very excited as well.
Yeah. So so classes start August 22nd for you guys, right? So for our classes are not starting till September 6th, but you guys are starting earlier than us. So
and you also you're gonna start with us a little earlier, but I promise you'll enjoy it.
And you also told me that classes are starting to fill up and some are sold out. Not the ones that we're offering yet, but that people need to get signed up and get going with you guys so that they're ready for the first day of classes, because that's just a couple of weeks away. So definitely,
yeah. This time of year is when we hit another enrollment burst. So I'm keeping a close eye on the classes that we're offering to you guys, but they are starting to fill up. So I'm not saying just hurry up and enroll. I am kind of, but spaces are limited. We do have a max number of students that we like to have in a class at one time. We try not to go over that, especially in our lower levels, to where we have a lot of new students to us, because we don't want to overwhelm them. So we try to keep those numbers a little bit on the lower side.
Right.
So
to answer Meredith's question, yes, once you register with the plenary, your spot
is yours. Yes.
Yeah, it's secure. You're good. So, okay. Well, you guys, thanks so much for coming on board the Charlotte Mason Co-op with us and offering these fun, super incredible classes. If anybody needs to contact you guys, you can either contact us through the plenary website, or you can contact Stephen and Jacky through the My Tek Lab website, or on our Facebook page, wherever. We're here for you guys to answer questions. So just let us know. But anything else before we wrap up?
Not on my end. I was waiting for a question to pop up. Was there a question? Yeah. No, I don't think so. We're super excited to partner with everyone this year. We love to expand our educational partners. I like to call them an educational circle, because there's no corners in circles, so no student gets stuck or left behind. So we're super excited to offer that to you all as well, and to see what your learners are going to create with us this year. It's one of my favorite things to watch, how students progress throughout the year and see what their final project is at the end of the year versus what they created at the beginning of the year, because they're vastly different. And it just makes me so proud of them that they were able to just grow with us in just a year, and then to continue to see how they go from there on out with us. We're super excited. We cannot wait to start. It's been a long summer. We're ready to get back and to see our learners again.
All right, Jacky and Stephen, thank you so much. We appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
much. Bye, everyone.